Yeah, hello and welcome everyone. Good evening. I hope people have started joining in. Yeah, hello and welcome everyone. I hope you guys have started joining in. So I again welcome you for today's lecture. So we're going to talk about the lists and the tuples which we were discussing yesterday. So we're going to cover the part of it and then we're going to do some exercises today. Okay, so anybody has any questions, anything from the previous lecture or anything apart also, you can always ask. So meanwhile, we are waiting for a couple of more minutes to let people join in. Right, so if you have any questions, guys, I'm all ears. Please shoot up your questions. Anything related to your topic, your career, job, data science, Python. Right, so you can always put up your questions. We can talk. Yeah, once again, hello and welcome everyone whosoever has started joining in. So meanwhile, we are waiting for a couple of more minutes to let people join in, guys. If you have any questions, I'm all ears. Please shoot up your questions if you have anything, so we can always talk. Anything which is related to your career, to data science or Python, right? So you can always ask. That should not be a problem. Guys, we're waiting for a couple of more minutes to let people join in. So as I always have said, if you have any questions, anything which you want to talk about regarding your career, Python, anything, right? So please feel free to give up your questions. You can always talk. Right, so I think we have one question, and Kuldeep is saying what DSA is enough for cracking data engineer. Okay, cool, good question. So data engineering is a profile, Kuldeep, where the corresponding person is taking care of the infra of all the DevOps of data science. Okay. So I won't say DSA is sufficient because there are multiple blocks which are involved in data engineering role. Okay. So the foremost important thing is, I would say, cloud. Okay. So cloud, again, we have multiple types of cloud. Three prominent clouds these days are Azure, AWS, and GCP. Okay. So yeah, it is good that you can learn all, but again, it depends on the organization. The same organization cannot work on all three clouds, right, at the same time. So now the question is which cloud to learn. Okay. So I would say be smart enough to know at least the basics of all the clouds. Okay, because you do not know what will be asked to you in any. I won't say Azure is famous or GCP is famous or AWS is famous. It depends on the companies. All of these are equally good. All of them have some pros and cons. Okay, so it depends on the organization totally. So I would suggest you to first go for cloud. Okay, so to crack a data engineer, and then you have something called as microservices. Okay, so in microservices, Kubernetes is the engine which actually monitors the microservices, and each of these services are actually deployed using Dockers. Okay, so Dockers gonna be your second thing which you should be learning after cloud. Dockers may automatically Kubernetes aa jata hai to manage the Dockers container. So that's your second thing I would suggest to learn for your data engineering role. Third is, I would say, your brokers, like message brokers. Whenever you call a service, right? So for that it could be like, for different brokers to call your services, like maybe an RPC calls, right? RPC REST protocols to call your model services, or REST protocols to call other services as well, right? Kafka brokers to send out your messages, right? So so basically interjection, the connection between your different architectures. So that's how we call as message brokers. So that will be your third thing which you should be learning to crack data engineer. And then post that, I would say the last would be towards your big data components, maybe Hadoop, Hive, right? So Hadoop and Hive, this is something I believe, that could be again important for data engineer here. Right, so those things I would suggest to learn. Yeah, DSA is by default. So DSA, I wouldn't say DSA is technically that much of importance, but at some point of time I would say they can ask you questions on algorithms. So DSA, it does. But again, as I told you, 4 other skills are important for data engineers: cloud, microservices, your message brokers, RPCs calls. How do you call your service? So Kafka brokers. Kafka, one of the very good message brokers. And then I would say Hadoop, Hive for big data components. So that's something which is again quite hyped up these days for data. So these are your stacks for data engineers profile. I hope I answered your question. Well, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot up if I was able to clarify your doubt. Any other questions, guys? Anyone? So that if not, we can proceed. Technically, Kuldeep, आपको बताऊं, so a data engineer is nothing but a DevOps guy of data science. ठीक है, जो DevOps में जो आप काम करते हो ना, I'm not sure if you're aware of DevOps. So it's like a DevOps of data science. So everything जो आप backend में काम करते हो to take care of your infra. So that's what comprise of data engineer role. ठीक है? Cool. Hi Sandeep, thank you for joining in. Hello. Any questions, guys? Any other questions, or shall we start for the day? Good question. PySpark is also important. I won't say PySpark is mandatory. Okay? PySpark is not mandatory. Python is mandatory, yes. PySpark is not mandatory. देखो PySpark कब यूज होता है पहले वो समझते हैं. PySpark होता क्या है पहले वो समझते हैं. ठीक है. Python आपका स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट है कोडिंग का. अब हम जब बिग डेटा की बात करते हैं, बिग डेटा एज इन द डेटा साइज इज ह्यूज. आई एम नॉट सेइंग जीबीज. सो 2 GB, 3 GB, 5 GB इज नॉट बिग डेटा. ओके, hundreds of GBs is big data. Okay, so when the data is in hundreds of GBs, right, then the problem is the normal functionalities which we are developing here, right? Suppose pandas की मैं बात कर रहा था over the weekends, right, for data science. So pandas functionality does not work on big data. It will fail tremendously because pandas के जब आप core codes को देखोगे ना, so everything is running under a for loop. जो भी उसमें फंक्शनैलिटीज़ को जो पाइथन फंक्शंस जो बने हुए ना, आप जब पाइथन फंक्शंस की कोड पैंडास की जब कोड देखोगे उसके आई शो इट टू इनफैक्ट उसमें सारे मेजर जो उसमें कोड है ना सारे फॉर लूप पे लिखे हुए हैं. और आपको पता है फॉर लूप तो इट टेक्स लाइक एजेस टू रन. आई हैव टोल्ड यू द अदर वे, अप्लाई लैम्डा, है ना, टू वर्क टू फास्टन योर थिंग्स. सो इन दैट सेंस आई वुड से PySpark में कुछ जैसे अब जो बिग डेटा कॉम्पोनेंट है ना, सो वी हैव अक्वायर्ड द स्पार्क आर्किटेक्चर. स्पार्क में क्या होता है, मास्टर स्लेव है. Master is where we can put up the information. Master splits the work into the corresponding workers. Workers काम करके आपको वो they collate your data and then give it back. ठीक है? So it fastens your process. So that's how Spark comes in. And Spark के ऊपर जो Python run होता है उसको हम PySpark कहते हैं. थोड़ा syntax में differences है, मतलब बहुत major नहीं है. Still OOPS concept है, object oriented programming है. More or less the logical understanding would be same. But again few syntaxes changes होंगे. So I would say I'll take that. So do not worry about it. But again yeah, Python जो Python flavor of Spark को PySpark कहते हैं. ठीक है? So but logical understanding same ही रहेगी हमारी इसमें. बहुत major changes नहीं है. So I won't say it's mandatory, but Python is mandatory. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Good questions. Cool. So let's start. Guys, okay. Thank you so much. As you know, my name is Arpit Jain, and again, so if you have any further questions, guys, I'm all ears. So do put up your questions on the chat. I'm trying to monitor it the best I can, but if I still miss out, I'll try to read it again. I'll come back. Okay. Cool guys, so as you know my name is Arpit Jain and I'm a senior data scientist myself. I have been into industry for more than 8+ years. I'm a motivational speaker myself. So if you have any questions related to your data science journey, like I have come across a lot of questions, people asking this question, which domain to choose. Like shall I go for, suppose the person is working in a healthcare domain right now, shall I go for a healthcare domain only for a data science role? Such kind of questions I'm hearing a lot. So I would say not really. So right, so you're open to all the industry. So data science that's the beauty of data science. Okay, so you are immune to industries. Okay, so even in my experience for past 8+ years, I've been into 4 different domains. Okay, so telecom, finance, manufacturing, automobile, cloud. So I've been into different domains. Okay, the only reason I was part of this is because I was working as a data guy. Okay, yeah, definitely. If you are from a particular domain, that adds up to your experience, that adds up to your profile. But it's not a mandatory requirement. Okay, so yeah, it does add a benefit, but it's not a mandatory requirement. If the company is willing to hire you, that's more than enough, right? So yeah, to answer that question, yeah, you're immune to all the companies. You can apply wherever you want. Okay, so yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to highlight. And then again, if you have any questions related to your technical part, any career related advice, so I'm always available. So you can always put up the questions. Subjects what we are going to take are towards Python and PySpark. So we have started with Python. Okay, so we have covered a few things on Python. Functions, lambda functions, we did the list. We are doing lists, so we're going to finish list today, and then something on dictionaries coming forward tomorrow and next day after tomorrow. And then we're going to talk about PySpark, as I already told you, so we will be covering in some point of time. And there are a few suggestions towards your SQL and if I remember correctly, Tableau. So yes, so those also will be part of our subjects, but I've not written it here because the timelines have not been decided yet, but I'll be including those as well. So SQL and Tableau, this is what I have got the feedback, so I'm going to incorporate that as well in the subjects. We're going to take it subsequently with the time. Cool. Right, so again you have a code right in front of your screen, guys, which is Python 10 to get a 10% off in an Unacademy Pro subscription. Okay? So if you are willing to take an Unacademy Pro subscription, so you can get a 10% off with the code which is right there on your screen, which is Python 10. Cool, so I think pretty much good enough. Okay, so please bear with me, guys. Time for a quick promotion. So I have to do this mandatory. Cool, so yeah, now the thing is why exactly you need a developer subscription. Okay, so I have been telling this, but again I have to repeat this. Cool, so this is basically for the people who wants to become a software developer, and that involves your any data science journey as well, because it does involve the developmental work in coding. Okay, so it's basically for people who wants to become a software developer or has just become a software developer, right? Unacademy as a platform has brought you a place where you can watch multiple shows live. Okay, and there are some good shows which are coming live on the Unacademy platforms, and I want to highlight some of those. Okay, so which might help you a lot in understanding why exactly it's helpful. So something called as the hiring updates from the big companies, the MNCs, or even the startups, right? So, and they talk about their eligibility criteria, what to expect, what not to expect. So basically a one-stop place to have all of your details regarding the hiring updates. Okay, so what companies to apply for, what companies are looking for certain opportunities, where is an opportunity available, which company is hiring it, what time they are hiring, what are the number of vacancies, right? So these are some really good information. So timing of these information is very important, guys. So suppose if you want to get hired in any organization, right? So it's always good to think that, okay, I will get hired, I'll get a job, I'll get a salary, and then I'll start earning, I'll have a good life, right? But again, it's the timing of thing is very important. So if you won't apply to that job on the right time, somebody else will take your job, right? So it'll never go empty. Somewhat the other person will get hired for that, right? So the timing is very important. So you should be getting the right updates at the right time, right? So that is where this show is going to be important, right? So you'll be getting the update, whether it's going to be startup or big MNCs everywhere, right? So the companies which are hiring, at what positions they are hiring, and how many vacations and all that. So there are eligibility criteria. So you can check whether you're fit in or what other things are required. So there's one of the good shows which is going live, right? And then there is a good show again which is going live. I'll be talking about that in the next subsequent slide. So it's about the Code Chef, right? So, and you understand how Code Chef important is, I mean, how important this Code Chef is, right? So I mean, it's like a barrier these days, right? So get into a good job, to get into a developer or the coder role, right? So again, there are certain do's and don'ts, what questions to expect, how to prepare, what to prepare, where to prepare from, what questions to expect, right? What difficulty level, a lot of questions. I have heard a lot of questions from the students regarding Code Chef. So there's a good show which is going live, actually. I'll talk about that. So you can get your queries clarified from the person who's going to take that show, right? So that's going to be your place again. Right, and then there is something called as pre-placement talks, where the recruiters, where the HRs from the recruiting company, they come, they talk about their companies, they talk about the company's vision, they talk about what exactly they are looking for. Okay, so what is the expectation from the organization? So they talk about their LGBT criteria, they talk about their hiring processes and all that, right? So that's again a very important thing, guys. So you need to understand why exactly you are getting hired, right? So it's again, as I've already told you this, so it's not always about company hiring, it's also about you choosing a company, right? So if you are aligned with the company's vision, if you feel that you can put up the mark in that organization, right? So that's where you also feel excited about it, right? So some XYZ company, if you're not interested in, you'll not put up that effort to be really good in that organization, right? So that's where I believe it becomes important, right? So where you understand, what companies to look for, and definitely, so if the company is going to talk about their hiring processes, so what kind of rounds, what technical rounds, what GDs, what pre-placement talks, what technical coding rounds, what aptitude tests, so a lot of things, right? So if you have a fair idea about what kind of rounds you're going to go through, right? So that helps you prepare yourself to be ready for the job, right? That's again, I believe, a very, very good show going live. Right, again, there's something called as the most important questions which are being asked. Okay, so most important questions which are generally asked by the companies. I mean, there are two types of questions, right? So you understand it. So technically, there are behavioral questions, technical questions, right? So technical questions, yeah, I mean, we all know what kind of technical questions at your level, experience level will be there. So say technical questions, again, the answers could be similar, but again, for the behavioral questions, it's always good to have some pointers ready. So based on your profile, you can get the responses tailor-made, right? So it's basically, you'll have the pointers to talk about in your when you go for the placement. So that's again which becomes very important when you go to talk. So it should not be like you're reading out something, but again, it should be like, you have the clarity in your mind. So what exactly you want to achieve. So this becomes again very important, guys. And then there is something called as the real life problem solving. So life problem solving, where a mentor along with you will be working on the problems, a real life project. Okay, so you'll be doing the project straight away, and then you will be having the live mentor support. Okay, so you'll be having a mentor support where if you're getting stuck, you can talk to this guy, whosoever you're gonna work with, and then you can get the queries clarified. So trust me, if you're talking to someone to get your queries clarified, that's something which is very important. So it becomes sometimes monotonous to keep on reading online, keep on viewing the videos online, right? So you tend to lose a track. I tend to lose a track. Even I was learning online some point of time in my career back, right? But I feel disconnected with such kind of learning, right? So it's like one way mode of learning, right? So यार questions तो सबको होते हैं ना, doubt सबको होता है, या मुझे भी होता है ना? So even I learn every day. So if you have somebody to talk to, right, so that makes the difference, guys. To be honest, that makes the difference. That truly makes the difference. So that's, I believe, again, it's a very good platform where you can get your queries, questions clarified. Cool. And then you have something called as a life journey of your fellow coders from the big companies. Again, the big companies are like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. So big companies, if you're targeting such big companies, so you have an option to talk to respective people from these companies directly, right? So like the coders. So you can understand what they have done in their life and what changes you are supposed to make in your profile to be part of such organizations, right? So that's again a good plus. So you can directly talk to these people. So it's actually giving you a platform where you can talk to the alumni, I mean to the current employees or maybe an ex-employees from those big companies, right? And understand what you are supposed to do, what you can do, what changes, right? So a lot of things you can talk. Cool. And on top of all this, you'll also be having a live mentor support, right? So live mentor support where you'll be talking to the industry experts. Okay, so these industry experts will be actually helping you a lot. So in your day-to-day feedbacks, in your online mock interview, so you can talk to these guys. And again, once they take your online mock interviews, right? So that's like before your pre-placement. So before your placement, you'll be actually having the idea of what questions to expect and the fair feedback. So if you have any queries, any questions, right? So you'll be getting the feedback. There might be a few areas where you feel that you're good at everything, but still there are a lot of areas. Generally, I have observed that that's the game changer. So if you get the feedback, you get the improvement areas, you can definitely improve. If you don't get the improvement areas, you do not know it, how will you improve it, right? So that's again something which is very important, guys. And again, all of this you'll be getting it for $999 for about a year, and with the code right in front of your screen, which is Python 10, you're gonna get it for 10% off with $899. Yep. Cool. Again, one of the good shows which is going live every Friday night at 10 p.m. and taken care by Mr. Raj Vikramaditya. Okay, and he's taking the college projects review. Okay, so one of the very good shows which I've observed people are benefiting it from. Okay, so this college projects review is where if you want your college projects to tick all the right boxes, okay, and if you want to land yourself in a good internship or maybe a good job, right? So that's where I believe this becomes very important. So you can get your college projects directly reviewed. So any questions, anywhere if you're stuck, if you want to get any suggestions, if you want to alter the problem statements, anything, right? So this is again a very good show, guys, which can help you a lot to work upon your college projects. Cool. Another show, Code Chef. So Code Chef, this is going live every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. guys. Okay. Taken care by Mr. Sai Avinash. He's an SDE Google and he's a 7-star at Code Chef. Okay, so very good place. Cool. So I believe again this is a place where you can ask your do's and don'ts, what questions, how to prepare and all that. So I believe Code Chef is again becoming really a pain these days. I have got the people, I have understood what kind of things they are looking for. So yeah, so this is a place, guys, you can talk about the Code Chef and get the queries clarified. Cool. Again, the official Telegram channel, guys. So please do not forget to join this. This is actually very helpful. And if you want to understand what shows which are going live and I know what time the lectures are, right? So everything is gonna be there at a single place, and that's gonna be your one place stop for everything, right? So do not forget to join this. Yeah, you know this. Please, if you feel like if you are interested, please do like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Cool. Now we are into the content slide. Okay, so we're going to talk about list and tuples. We have been talking about list and tuples a lot of things, and we have done a lot of things in list and tuples. So we're going to finish that up today, and a lot of exercises as time permits. Cool, guys. Let's do that. Let's quickly jump to our contents. Okay, we have two more questions. Sandeep says SQL for data science. Yes, Sandeep, SQL is mandatory for data science. Okay. So there are 4 mandatory skill sets for you if you want to become a data scientist. Okay, so those are statistics, machine learning, Python, and SQL. Okay, so those are the 4 mandatory skill sets for you. So in that case, I would say SQL does become very important. It becomes mandatory. Okay, so you have to take care of that. So SQL is important. Okay. NP World asks, sir, can a BSc student with good skills get a decent 7 to 8 LPA job as a fresher? Why not? Yeah, you can get a 15-20 LPA package. What's the problem in that? Why do you think you cannot get a job? So if you feel that your skill sets are good, if you feel that you can crack the interviews, why not? What's stopping you? There's no problem at all. right? So do not think that, yeah, I mean, yes, skill set is what people are looking for, okay? If you're skilled enough, then why not? You can obviously get a job. Yeah, see, I'll be very honest with you. The basic package is 3 to 4, unfortunately, in India for a fresher, okay? But again, and it actually increases with time. So, but yeah, I mean, there are still exceptions. So it's not like 7 to 8 is a very high package. Yeah, but average is 3 to 4. But again, if you're skilled enough and you're able to crack the right interviews, you can absolutely get it. Okay. Cool. Okay, good question. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, yes, some of the companies, some of the IT companies, right? So they are looking for the eligibility criteria of yeah, BTech. I have seen that. Unfortunately, I've seen that. Yeah, see, if there is a hard requirement of being a BTech or a BE guy, right? Yeah, so no, you cannot help it. So I would say in that sense, be very smart enough. It's okay. It's okay to accept that fact and move ahead. Okay, so that's not the only company, right? So that's not the only company you have. You still have n number of companies, right? You still have n number of companies. So do not worry about that. Okay, do not worry about that. It's okay to have that a single company looking for a BTech guy, but again, it's fine enough. Okay, so if that company is looking for a BTech guy, and then accept the fact that that job is not for you. Okay, go ahead for the next one. So do not worry about some company not willing to take you in. It's fine. But generally, I don't see that's gonna be the hard stop. Okay. Cool. So let's jump to our list exercises, guys. Okay. So right. So I'm gonna again gonna give you 30 seconds. If you have any questions, guys, whatever we have learned so far, I'm more than happy to take that in. I believe you are comfortable with indexing, right? So we did a lot of exercises on indexing, how to index my particular element, my ranges, my reverse, my the backward index, my forward index, nesting of my list. So we did a lot of exercises, right? So if you have any questions, guys, I can repeat all this. Do not get confused with this big numbers. Do not get confused with this also a big number, right? Do not get confused with this. If you have any questions, I'm willing to explain you everything again. No problem at all in that, right? But again, when you're going out from this class, I really want you to understand this, okay? Any questions, please feel free to put up. Cool. So we were discussing about prepending and appending yesterday, right? If you remember correctly. So we were talking about that. So you remembered we talked about prepending and appending. So appending, prepending by this we know just by a lingual meaning understand that something we are adding before, right? So we have a list here and then we are adding before this list. Okay, so basically we are shifting the indexes ahead. Okay, so we are adding something on top of this, right? And appending is like we are adding something at the last, right? So that's what we have learned, right? So for example, you've seen this. So this is my list, right? So X is A, B, C, D, E, and F. And I'm adding 1 and 2 plus X, right? So basically I'm adding 1 and 2 before my X. You can see this. So 1 and 2 has come here and everything has gone ahead, right? And you can see the indexes have also changed. So initially the A index was 0. It was 0th index, first index. Now the A can be queried as A of X of 2 because now it has it is now visible at the third index, right? So that's where it is X of 2, right? So that's about prepending. Appending to simple है, appending to this last में 2 add हो जाते हैं, nothing fancy. इसमें इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग हमने क्या देखा कल अबाउट एडिंग द सिंगल ऑब्जेक्ट. ओके, सो अगेन आई जस्ट गोना क्विकली रिपीट दिस. ठीक है, सो नाउ आई हैव दिस लिस्ट हियर A, B, C, D, and F. ओके, सो व्हाट इफ आई एम गोना ऐड अ सिंगल ऑब्जेक्ट हियर, राइट? सो नाउ आई एम सेइंग दैट X प्लस 20. ठीक है, सो अभी हमने क्या किया था, दिस इज माई लिस्ट हियर एंड देन आई एम एडिंग अ सिंगल ऑब्जेक्ट हियर X plus 20. सो दिस इज गिविंग यू एन एरर, right? The thing is we cannot add a single element which is of numeric type to my existing list. We cannot do that. Okay, if we are supposed to add a numeric single object, then I'm gonna pass it as a singleton list. Okay, so I've just converted into a list where this list has a single element 20 and I'm gonna add on top of my X. Okay, so now if I do X, now this can be added. Cool. So that's one thing which I've observed. Now vice versa, string. ठीक है, suppose I have a string G, a single character का है G मेरे पास. I'm doing a addition of my C here. Okay, so plus में simple में plus को मैं add बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब मैं add कर रहा हूँ उसके अंदर. ठीक है, अभी मैं कर रहा हूँ क्या हो गया यार, नहीं होनी चाहिए, जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट गाइस। ठीक है, मेरा अभी वापस से रन है, मैं इस पे काम करता हूँ, प्लस करता हूँ मॉड जी। ठीक है, गुड। अब मैं एक्स को रन करता हूँ, अभी आपको दिख रहा है व्हेन आई ट्राई टू ऐड अ सिंगल एलिमेंट जी वेयर द कैरेक्टर वेयर इट इज अ सिंगल कैरेक्टर एलिमेंट। ठीक है, सो इट हैज एडेड। सो अगर मैं न्यूमेरिक ऐड कर रहा हूँ तो वो मुझे एरर देता है, बट इफ आई वांट टू ऐड अ सिंगल कैरेक्टर एलिमेंट इट हैज ब्यूटीफुली एडेड इट। ओके, नाउ द फैंसी पार्ट इज इफ यू वांट टू ऐड इफ मल्टीपल कैरेक्टर स्ट्रिंग, फॉर एग्जांपल से ABCD, नहीं ABCD नहीं करते हैं, I'll add it as a different thing, so I'll add XYZ। ठीक है, अभी आप XYZ करोगे ना इस पे, and then if you see this it is adding as a single characters। ठीक है, it has split into single characters X, Y and Z, it has added at multiple elements। so basically पहले मेरा लेंथ ऑफ लिस्ट था 6, अभी लेंथ ऑफ लिस्ट हो गया मेरा 9, so because 3 characters have been added। ठीक है, अब इसका एक सिंपल तोड़ है, अगर आपको इसको पूरा ऐड करना है तो अगेन यू हैव टू कन्वर्ट इनटू अ लिस्ट। सो नाउ दिस इज आइडेंटिफाइड एज अ सिंगल ऑब्जेक्ट। ठीक है, एंड नाउ इफ यू सी एक्स इट विल बी एडेड एज अ सिंगल एलिमेंट। ओके, सो आई मीन इट डिपेंड्स व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एडिशन यू वांट टू डू, सो इट्स लाइक दिस इज हाउ प्रीपेंडिंग एंड अपेंडिंग वर्क्स। एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस, प्लीज फील फ्री टू आस्क योर क्वेश्चंस। ये हमने ये कर लिया है। अब मेरे पास राइट, सो ये अपेंड हमने देख लिया है। ओके, सो नाउ आपके पास एक क्वेश्चन है। ठीक है, सो आई एम गोना डू इट। आपके पास 2 लिस्ट है यहाँ पे। ठीक है, x इज a and b and y इज 1, 2 and 3। ओके, नाउ फॉर द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, अगर मैं x प्लस वाई करता हूं, ठीक है, अगर मैं x प्लस वाई करता हूं तो क्या somebody can tell me what is the length of x plus y? Quickly guys, so I have x as 2 elements a and b and I have y as 3 elements 1, 2 and 3। these are 2 different lists। ठीक है, and now I'm doing a simple plus addition कर रहा हूँ मैं, x plus y करूँगा, बेसिकली इसमें डेटा जो है अपेंड होगा। ठीक है, आपसे क्वेश्चन ये है कि जब मैं इसको प्लस करूँगा तो what will be the length of my updated list guys? quickly on the chat, what do you think the length would be in my final list? If I do an x plus y here, x is a and b, y is 1, 2, 3, तो फाइनल लेंथ का क्या होगा? Quickly guys on the chat. This is not tricky guys. Quickly, I am gonna wait for 30 seconds. Please put up your answer here. Again, I think I'm seeing a lag of almost 20 seconds. So if you see me mute for some time, do not get confused. Okay, so I'm still around. It's just like I think it's almost there's a lag of 30 seconds. I could see that. Yeah. Cool guys. Anybody wants to try this? Let me show it to you. कूल, अभी आप देखा आपने, अभी आपके पास यहाँ पे x में a and b है एंड देन y में 1, 2, 3 है। सो बेसिकली क्या होगा, अगर आप x प्लस वाई करोगे ना, लेट मी शो इट यू, x प्लस वाई करोगे तो इसमें क्या किया, इसने एलिमेंट्स को एक्सपैंड कर दिया। एक्सपैंड मतलब इसने एलिमेंट्स को इंडिविजुअली ट्रीट किया यहाँ पे। ठीक है, सो इनिशियली आई हैड a and b हियर, but these elements got added as a individual elements here. Thank you so much Sandeep. Yes, absolutely, the answer is 5. Great, yes. So x plus y क्या करता है, it expands your element. Okay, so always important to know, x plus y always expands your element. Okay, so अभी x plus y में क्या है, 5 elements हो गए, a, b and 1, 2 and 3 individually। अभी हम इसका देखते हैं कि now can somebody tell me कि जब मैं अपेंड करूंगा, Now x is a and b, y is 1 2 3. Now I'm appending y on top of x. So now can somebody tell me, अगर मैं length of x देखूंगा यहाँ पे तो मेरे को क्या मिलेगा? Quickly guys, what will append give me here? Sandeep, Kuldeep, anybody wants to try this? Cool, let me show it to you. When we run this append, right, you can see the length is 3. The reason is, in this case, exactly, thank you so much Sandeep for answering. This time, this list is getting added as a single element. Let me show it to you now, how the x looks like. So if I just print an x now, can you see this? Now instead of these 3 individual elements, now this is added as a third element, and this third is a nested list. Okay, so that's the difference of a plus and then append operator, guys. Okay, very important difference and always good to know, right? Yes, absolutely. Y will be a single element. Thank you so much Sandeep for clarifying. Right, and again, as there is a network lag of 20 seconds, so you might be hearing my response a bit late here, but yeah, but I'm seeing your messages on time. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So here this y is getting added at a single element. ठीक है, so plus and append में ये difference है, हमेशा याद रखना. Okay, अभी हमारे पास एक बहुत ही important functionality है extend. ठीक है, extend क्या करता है? So हमारे पास क्या क्या हो गया? append है, हम plus करते हैं, concat करते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं. Now final function मेरे पास extend. ठीक है, अब एक्सटेंड क्या करता है मैं आपको वो दिखाता हूँ. एक्सटेंड बेसिकली इट वर्क्स मोर प्रिसाइजली एज प्लस. जो मेरा प्लस करता है, प्लस बेसिकली क्या करता है, आपका इंडिविजुअल एलिमेंट्स को एज अ सिंगल एंटिटी वो ट्रीट करता है, राइट? दैट्स हाउ इट ट्रीट्स इट. सो हियर एक्सटेंड डज द एग्जैक्टली सिमिलर थिंग. अगर मैं यहाँ पे ये करता हूँ, सपोज मेरे पास सेम यही है, ठीक है, लेट मी शो यू. सो अगर मैं एक्स प्लस वाई करूँगा ना, सो वॉट इट गिव्स मी द रिजल्ट लाइक दिस. Now if I do x dot extend of y, okay, and now just a minute, I have to run this again and then I have to see x, right? Can you see this? So जो x plus y का आउटपुट है बेसिकली एक्सटेंड मेरा एग्जैक्टली वही करता है. ठीक है, आपके पास 2 फंक्शनैलिटीज हो गई, अपेंड एंड एक्सटेंड. एक्सटेंड तो बाय डिफॉल्ट लिंगुअल से ही थोड़ा क्लैरिफाई लग रहा है. एक्सटेंड आपको क्या करता है? एक्सपैंड कर देता है, एक्सपैंड इंडिविजुअल एलिमेंट्स. ठीक है, और अपेंड क्या करता है? एड्स एज अ सिंगल एलिमेंट. ठीक है, ये एक बेसिक मेजर डिफरेंस है इन अपेंड एंड एक्सटेंड. ये हमेशा आपको याद रखना होगा. ठीक है, अच्छा, एक और बेसिक फंक्शनैलिटी अगेन इंसर्ट का मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. बेसिकली इंसर्ट क्या होता है? आई वोंट टेक मच टाइम हियर. इंसर्ट इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज सपोज आपका ये लिस्ट है, मैं आपको इसमें इंसर्ट में क्या होता है कि आपको एक पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन पे एक कोई ऑब्जेक्ट को इंसर्ट कराना है. सपोज आई हैव अ लिस्ट हियर ए बी सी डी एन एफ. ओके, नाउ आई वांट अ वैल्यू 10 विच इज टू बी इंसर्टेड एट द थर्ड लोकेशन. ठीक है, थर्ड लोकेशन बेसिकली है मेरा 0 1 2 3. सो बेसिकली मैं चाहता हूँ कि अभी इस थर्ड लोकेशन पे मेरा वैल्यू 10 इसमें इंसर्ट हो जाए. अभी देखते हैं हम x को प्रिंट करा करके क्या होता है. ठीक है, अब देख रहे हो इसमें क्या हुआ कि जो मेरा थर्ड लोकेशन था, अब इस थर्ड की जगह पे मेरा 10 आ गया है, और जो इसके सारे जो रिमेनिंग एलिमेंट्स हैं वो एक एक शिफ्ट हो गए हैं. सो बेसिकली अभी पहले d जो मेरा थर्ड पे था वो फोर्थ पे आ जाएगा, है ना, बिकॉज इसका वो शिफ्ट हो गया है यहाँ पे. इंसर्ट का मतलब इसका सिंटेक्स क्या होता है आप देखोगे, इसमें मैंने लिख रखा है a डॉट इंसर्ट. बेसिकली a आपका हो गया लिस्ट, इसमें आपका इंडेक्स नंबर, इंडेक्स मतलब जहाँ पर आप पास करना चाहते हो, कहाँ जहाँ पे इंसर्ट कराना चाहते हो, एंड देन द एलिमेंट, द ऑब्जेक्ट विच यू वांट टू पास. सो इस a डॉट इंसर्ट में आप एक लिस्ट भी पास कर सकते हो. सपोज आई वांट टू पास 1 2 3 4 5. ठीक है, अभी देखते हैं। कूल, अभी यहाँ पे मेरा इस थर्ड पोजीशन पे मेरा लिस्ट आ गया एंड देन फोर्थ पे डी आ गया जो एक एक शिफ्ट हो गया, बट अगेन दिस इज अ सिंगल एलिमेंट गाइस, ओके, सो आई कैन पास एनीथिंग एज अ वैल्यू इंसर्ट के अंदर। कूल, ये इंसर्ट की फंक्शनैलिटी है। रिमूव तो आपको पता ही है, रिमूव कुछ नहीं है, रिमूव में मतलब आई जस्ट वांट टू रिमूव अ सिंगल एलिमेंट, जिसमें मैंने जस्ट पास कर दिया, नथिंग फैंसी। एनी क्वेश्चंस गाइस, प्लीज फील फ्री टू आस्क मी। ठीक है, वी गोना जंप टू टपल्स टुडे। ठीक है, एनी क्वेश्चंस प्लीज, अगेन आई एम ऑल हियर, सो इफ यू फील दैट आई एम रशिंग, सो यू कैन ऑलवेज आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन, ओके, सो वी कैन ऑलवेज टॉक। टपल्स, एज आई हैव टोल्ड यू, टपल्स का मेजर डिफरेंस है, टपल्स इम्यूटेबल्स होता है। ठीक है, टपल्स को हम ऑल्टर नहीं कर सकते, मतलब जो टपल के अंदर जो एलिमेंट्स है आपके पास, दैट्स गोना बी देयर टिल द एंड ऑफ द लाइफ ऑफ द टपल, ओके। सो अगर मैं टपल को डिलीट करूंगा तब तक वो रहेगा, टपल को मैं रिमूव ही कर दूंगा तब वो चाहेगा, टपल के एलिमेंट्स को मैं एडिट नहीं कर सकता हूँ। ठीक है, वो इम्यूटेबल ऑब्जेक्ट्स होता है। ठीक है, एंड हम कैसे डिफाइन करते हैं, पैरेंथेसिस के थ्रू करते हैं। पैरेंथेसिस आपको पता है, सिंपल ये पैरेंथेसिस के थ्रू हम डिफाइन करते हैं। ठीक है, अब सपोज मैंने यहाँ पे एक टी डिफाइन करा हुआ है। ठीक है, आपके अंदर जो भी स्लाइसिंग आप करते हो, जो भी आपने लिस्ट के अंदर स्लाइसिंग सीखी है, सपोज आपको चाहिए सेकंड एलिमेंट टी ऑफ 2, यू विल गेट सी हियर, या फिर अब टी ऑफ 2 to 5 सी डी ई आ गया, 2 3 4 5 तो हो जाएगा नहीं, तो 2 सी डी ई आ गया, और आपको रिवर्स करना है तो 0 0 -1 रिवर्स भी हो गया। सो जितनी भी इंडेक्सिंग, स्लाइसिंग, रेंजिंग आपने पढ़ी है ऑन लिस्ट, इट इज ऑल एप्लीकेबल ऑन टपल्स। ठीक है, आप क्योंकि आप वहाँ पे व्यू कर रहे हो, एक्सेस कर रहे हो डेटा, राइट, यू आर नॉट चेंजिंग एनीथिंग, सो ऑल ऑफ दिस स्लाइसिंग, इंडेक्सिंग इज स्टिल वैलिड इन माई टपल्स। ठीक है, बट द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज, इफ आई वॉन्ट टू असाइन समथिंग, फॉर एग्जाम्पल नाउ मैं सेकंड इंडेक्स को बोल रहा हूँ सी की जगह पे मैं अर्पित से रिप्लेस करूँ, विल इट वर्क? इट विल नॉट वर्क, बिकॉज इट्स ए The tuple object does not support item assignment. So आप tuple के object को change नहीं कर सकते हो, because that's gonna be there till the end of its life. ठीक है, end of not world's but end of tuple's life. ठीक है, इसको मैं uncomment कर देता हूँ। Similarly, so anything, so you can do this also. अब again, अब यहाँ पर क्या है कि आप default कैसे असाइन कर सकते हो। सो आप सिंपल कॉमास भी दोगे, सपोज आपने यहाँ पे 2 एलिमेंट्स दे रखे हैं। ठीक है, आपने डिफाइन किया A and B। ठीक है, A इज अर्पित, अ स्ट्रिंग, B इज से 10 एंड देन C इज से अ लिस्ट 1 2 3 1 2 3। ठीक है, एंड नाउ आई एम गोना आस्क A, B, C। अब देखोगे, अगर बाय डिफॉल्ट भी आप कुछ भी नहीं भी देते हो ना, इवन बाय डिफॉल्ट द रेस्पॉन्स ऑफ माई कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट इज बेसिकली अ टपल। ठीक है, अगर आप कुछ भी नहीं भी देते हो, बाय डिफॉल्ट इट टेक्स एन इम्यूटेबल ऑब्जेक्ट, जो कि आपका जो एलिमेंट्स हैं जो आपने डिफाइन करे हुए हैं, या फिर जो इनबिल्ट फंक्शनैलिटी है, इट विल गिव यू एज फॉर्म ऑफ टपल ओनली, इम्यूटेबल ऑब्जेक्ट्स की तरह आता है। ठीक है, ये बाय डिफॉल्ट रिस्पॉन्स होता है आईडी का। अब सिमिलरली यहाँ पर क्या है कि सपोज इफ आई वांट टू असाइन इट लाइक दिस। ठीक है, अब मैंने क्या किया, मैंने यहाँ पे 4 डिफरेंट एलिमेंट्स को असाइन किया, S1 S2 S3 S4, एंड मैंने यहाँ पे ABCD डिफाइन किया हुआ है। ठीक है, अब मैं इसको अगर रन करूँगा, नाउ इफ आई कॉल S1, आई विल गेट S1 as A। बेसिकली मैंने क्या करा, इंडेक्सिंग कर दी, इंडेक्सिंग को भी मैंने नेम कर दिया, नेम्ड इंडेक्स करा हुआ है। ठीक है, सो मैंने इसको हर एक एलिमेंट्स को एक नेम दिया हुआ, आई कैन डू दैट। सो टपल में ये भी पॉसिबिलिटी है, सो आई कैन गिव इट एज अ नेम। ठीक है, अगर आप सिंपल 2 डिफरेंट टपल्स को डिफाइन करोगे, हियर द वेरिएबल नेम एंड द वैल्यूज, सो यू कैन कॉल द वेरिएबल नेम डायरेक्टली ऑल्सो। ठीक है, दैट्स अगेन इसको असाइनमेंट कहते हैं, असाइनमेंट एंड पैकिंग, सो दैट इज अगेन अ पॉसिबल। आपको रिमेंबर होगा, आई वाज ट्राइंग टू talk about the magic swap, right? So somebody, when I was doing this class on the important interview questions some time back, right? So people have answered like this also. I asked to swap 2 numbers, so they have answered like this: A, B is equal to B, A. Absolutely right. So that's how tuple can be used. Okay, so tuple का magic swap हो जाता है। अगर आप अब देखो, अब जैसे आपका A का 1 है और B का 2 है ना, अब यहाँ पे इसके बाद आप A को प्रिंट करोगे तो A में 2 आ जाएगा। ठीक है, so you can do a magic swap like this also. इट वर्क्स। सो बिकॉज बाई डिफॉल्ट अगर मैं ए और बी प्रिंट करूंगा ना, सो ए और बी क्या होगा, ए और बी अगर प्रिंट करूंगा तो टपल ऑब्जेक्ट आएगा। अभी तो मैं इसको कमेंट कर देता हूँ। तो बाई डिफॉल्ट यहाँ पे टपल ऑब्जेक्ट आएगा, और आपको पैकिंग मैंने बताया था। सो बेसिकली मैं अब ये बोल रहा हूँ, दिस इक्वल टू 1 and 2। अब यहाँ पे मैं अगर मैं बी और ए डाल दूंगा, सो बी ए डाल दूंगा यहाँ पे अगर, और यहाँ पे मैं अगर 1 2 डाल दूंगा, सो बेसिकली यही कर रहा हूँ मैं, यहाँ पे यही कर रहा हूँ ना, पैकिंग ही कर रहा हूँ। तो दैट्स हाउ इट रिवर्सेस इट ऑल्सो। सो बिकॉज ये एक प्रॉपर्टी है टपल की। ठीक है, cool guys. Okay, so now why we use tuple instead of list? So basically बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन ये होते हैं कि अब tuple यूज ही क्यों करना है, बिकॉज इतना कंफ्यूजिंग है, लिस्ट से सारा काम चल रहा है तो tuple क्यों चाहिए मुझे, है ना. सो दो चीज़ें हैं, बिकॉज देखो एक चीज़ क्या होता है कि tuple की जो आपकी कंप्यूटेशनल स्पीड है वो कंपेरेटिवली थोड़ी फास्टर है लिस्ट में, बिकॉज लिस्ट क्या है, वो आपका म्यूटेबल ऑब्जेक्ट्स है ना. सो टेक्निकली वी हैव ऑब्जर्व कि टपल का जो एग्जीक्यूशन स्पीड है वो थोड़ा फास्टर है, बट वो छोटे डेटा सेट में आपको नहीं दिखेगा. अगर आपका मतलब 1000 रोज या 10,000 रोज है तो उसमें ज़्यादा उसमें उतना फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. बट जहाँ बिग डेटा आता है, जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा एलिमेंट्स हैं, देन यू वुड फील द डिफरेंस कि टपल के जो परफॉर्मेंस कंप्यूटेशनल परफॉर्मेंसेज हैं वो थोड़े फास्ट हैं. सो वेयर आप जहाँ पे कोई चेंजेस करना नहीं है, सिर्फ आपको एज एन एलिमेंट ट्रीट करना है, आइट्रेट करना है ओवर द एलिमेंट्स, है ना. सो विच वेयर यू डोंट वांट टू चेंज एनीथिंग, which where we can replace list with tuple, so it is more advisable to use tuple instead of list to fasten your calculations. Okay, so that's how it works. The second is, again, as you know, it's an immutable object, so it safeguards you from any accidental changes, so that's where again tuple is used. Cool guys, I think ये तो आपको अब तक तो पता है कि tuple and list का basic differences क्या है. अब जरा quick questions कर लें. So I have prepared some good questions for you, so let's do these questions. ठीक है. So this is the first question, guys. So I have my 4 elements here. Okay, so A is 20, B is 5.5, C is a complex object. Okay, so 3 plus 2j. Okay, and then I have what I'm doing, this L, I'm creating a list L which is A comma B comma C comma D. Always remember this, guys, the kind of data I have. Okay, so now your question is, do you think this will run, and if this will run, what will be the output of my list? Quickly guys in the chat. Simple question, but it's tricky again. So you always remember this, I have a complex object here, 3 plus 2j. Okay, so I'm gonna add these 4 elements to my list A, B, C and D, and I'm preparing a list L. What do you think the output would be here? Quick question guys. Error? If not error, what would be my output? What elements? How exactly will be written? Quick response in your chat, guys. This is a simple one, so once you've done this, we're gonna move to a bit tricky ones. Quickly guys. And again I'm observing almost a lag of 20-25 seconds, so again if you see me mute for some time, do not get confused, I'm still around. Quickly guys, what will be the response here? It's gonna be, it's easy, it's not tricky. Sandeep, NP World, Kuldeep. Are you guys confused, or is it like not clear what's the issue? Okay, let me show it to you. Yeah, absolutely it'll run Sandeep. But the important thing to note is this 3 plus 2j will be marked as a tuple here. Okay, so that's just something which I wanted to show you. Okay, yes, it will absolutely run, no issues in that. But the important thing to note is your complex object, which is 3 plus 2j, is gonna be marked as an immutable object, and it's gonna be a tuple inside my list. Okay, yeah, because that's one of the properties of list, where we can have any elements, anything which the list can take, right? So it can take any object type. Now the important thing is this complex object will be given as a tuple. So this is this is why I asked you for the output here. Okay, so that's something which is important and which you should be knowing. Cool. Okay, this much is good. So I think this is easy. Let's not do this. Yeah. ठीक है. Let's do this. ठीक है. अभी आपके पास L है. L है. L क्या है? L is this. ठीक है. Now you're writing this code. ठीक है. Now somebody can tell me what will be the length of my L here after running this code. I'm just expanding it again. Look at this code very carefully, guys. So in this L, I have 4 elements, right? 20, 5.5, 3 plus 2j and hello. Now I'm writing this big command here. Okay, append, insert and extend. What do you think my length of L here is? Quickly, guys, in the chat. Again, I think I'm seeing a lag of good 30 seconds, I guess, right? So if you see me mute for some time, do not get confused. I'm still around. Okay, quickly, guys. I think that's not tricky. So just I want the length of my elements here, length of my list. If you're gonna run this command, look at the command very carefully, guys. I'm gonna break it for you and then ask again, but again, look at the command very carefully and then tell me what will be my output of the length of L. Trust me, it looks simpler, it looks easy, but it gets trickier once you start working on it. Okay, quickly, guys, in the chat. Sandeep says 11. Okay, interesting, Sandeep. Thank you so much. We're gonna see that what will be my length. Anybody has any other answers? Thank you so much, Sandeep, for answering. Anybody else has any other answers from Sandeep? So we had 4 elements before we started appending or adding or inserting or extending into my data, into my list. So anybody has any other answers from Sandeep? Sandeep says 11. So look at the question very carefully, guys, very carefully. Look at the command. So appending, then insert, then extend. And we have seen how append works. We have seen how insert works. We have also seen how extend works, right? It's just like I'm adding all of these at a single place. Quickly, guys, what should be the response here? Okay, then let me give you a first thing here. If you run it, it will give you an error. The reason is you cannot run insert or any other operation on top of my append, or see these operations, right? Append, insert and extend. First of all, always remember it returns a none type object. Okay, it returns a none type object. The thing is, see, for example, I'll show it to you what I mean by this. If I run it, do you see any output coming up here? No, right? No output will come if you run it like this, because it returns a none type object. By default, it updates my original list L. So now if I print L here, if I do L, right, now I'll get this list. Okay, so I mean, yeah, it has run it twice, so that is the reason why it is showing like this. So let me take it like this. let me run it again first, please, sorry. Okay, cool. So now you see this, because this append by default returns a none type object. Okay, so it does not return anything, but it directly updates my list. So if you print a list, you can get this one. Okay, so now if you want to run everything like insert, append, extend, you have to run it line by line. You cannot run it on the same go. That's the difference again. That's one of the important thing to notice, guys. Okay, so now first of all, अभी हम इसको तोड़ के करते हैं, इंडिविजुअली करते हैं, ठीक है. सो अभी मेरे पास क्या है, मैं फर्स्ट थिंग करा प्रिंट ऑफ लेंथ ऑफ एल करता हूँ यहाँ पे, ठीक है. अभी मैंने लेंथ डॉट अपेंड करा, अब मैं यहाँ पे प्रिंट ऑफ लेंथ ऑफ एल करता हूँ अगेन, ठीक है. पहले क्या था मेरे पास 4 एलिमेंट्स थे ए बी सी एंड डी. अभी मैंने अपेंड करा. अपेंड तो बेसिकली आपको पता है सिंगल एलिमेंट ऐड करता है. सो नाउ आई हैव 5 एलिमेंट्स हियर. कूल. अब इस एल के ऊपर मैं करूँगा ये ऑपरेशन जो मेरा सेकंड ऑपरेशन है, एल डॉट इंसर्ट. लेट मी शो इट यू, ठीक है. अब मैं एल डॉट इंसर्ट कर रहा हूँ. अब इंसर्ट में क्या बोल रहा हूँ, आई वॉन्ट इट एट द सेकेंड प्लेस, ठीक है. सेकेंड प्लेस में ऐड होगा. अभी मैं वापस से इसको लेंथ ऑफ एल करता हूँ, ठीक है. आपने देखा ये 4, 5 और 6 इंक्रीज हुआ, बिकॉज मैंने क्या किया, सेकेंड एलिमेंट पे ये पूरा नेस्टेड लिस्ट को ऐड किया है, ठीक है. अब मैं यहाँ पे एक बार एल प्रिंट करके दिखाता हूँ आपको, ठीक है. तो आप देखोगे यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, मेरा फर्स्ट एलिमेंट था 20, सेकेंड था 5.5 एंड थर्ड, मतलब बेसिकली सेकेंड इंडेक्स में थर्ड एलिमेंट पे ये पूरा एक बड़ा लिस्ट आ गया मेरे पास, एक नेस्टेड लिस्ट आ गया, है ना. अब इसके अंदर 1 भी है, इंडिया भी है, एक और लिस्ट है 25 है, उसके अंदर एक फंक्शन है मिनिमम एंड देन एप्पल है ना. ये मेरा थर्ड एलिमेंट हो गया, राइट, सेकेंड इंडेक्स पे. एंड देन द फोर्थ एलिमेंट मेरा जो पहले से एग्जिस्टिंग है 3 + 2j हेलो और 100 जो मैंने पहले अपेंड किया हुआ था. सो अभी मेरे पास लेंथ ऑफ एल क्या आ रहा है, 6 आ रहा है टिल माई इंसर्ट. सो इंसर्ट इज गॉन. अब मैं इसके ऊपर करूँगा एल डॉट एक्सटेंड. एक्सटेंड क्या करना है मुझे, ये 1 2 3 को करना है. अब मैं यहाँ पे अगर प्रिंट ऑफ लेंथ ऑफ एल करता हूँ तो गैस क्या होगा, एक्सटेंड आपको पता है वो प्लस करता है. एक्सटेंड बेसिकली एलिमेंट वाइज एडिशन करता है. तो ये 6 में 3 और ऐड हो गए, 1 2 3, सो बेसिकली 9. सो द आंसर संदीप इज 9. ये क्लियर हुआ? एनी डाउट्स, एनी वन गाइज? This is an important concept. That is the reason why I'm explaining it. I have explained it again. So always try to understand this. Append, insert, and extend. It always returns a none type object. Okay. You cannot you cannot perform any operation on a none type object because it is by default updating your existing parent list. Parent list क्या है? मेरा L है, right? एल के ऊपर मैं कोई ऑपरेशन कर रहा हूँ, दैट इज फाइन. मेरा एल अपडेट हो गया यहाँ पे. अब मेरे को वापस से कुछ करना है तो मेरे को एल के ऊपर करना होगा. मेरे को एल डॉट अपेंड के ऊपर नहीं करना होगा. एल डॉट अपेंड कुछ नहीं, एल डॉट अपेंड नन टाइप ऑब्जेक्ट है, ठीक है. एंड इट्स एन ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग पाइथन. सो ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आपका कि ऑब्जेक्ट किस ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर कौन सा फंक्शन आप रन करो. किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर आप कुछ भी रन नहीं कर सकते हो, ठीक है. ये नन टाइप ऑब्जेक्ट रिटर्न करता है. तो इसमें क्या था मेरे पास, अपेंड में सिंगल एक एलिमेंट इंसर्ट किया मैंने तो वो 4 से बढ़ के 5 हो गया, कोई इशू नहीं है ना. अब इंसर्ट में क्या करूँ, मैं सेकंड एलिमेंट पे, सेकंड इंडेक्स पे पूरा एलिमेंट इंसर्ट करूँ. डू नॉट गेट कंफ्यूज गाइस, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे एलिमेंट है. नेस्टेड लिस्ट है ये, ठीक है. मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ बिकॉज आपको मैंने बताया था लिस्ट कैन टेक एनी डेप्थ ऑफ नेस्टेड लिस्ट, है ना. तो दैट इज टोटली पॉसिबल. अब जब मैं यहाँ पे लेंथ ऑफ एल करूँगा तो पहले यहाँ पे 5 था, अब मैंने एक और एलिमेंट ऐड कर दिया बिकॉज मैं सिंगल एलिमेंट ऐड कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. तो मेरा यहाँ पे 6 हो जाएगा ये, ठीक है. अब इस 6 के ऊपर मैं एक्सटेंड कर रहा हूँ. एक्सटेंड क्या, एक्सटेंड बेसिकली आपका वो प्लस की तरह काम करता है ना. अगर मैं यहाँ पे एल प्लस 1, 2, 3 भी करूँगा तभी भी सेम ही रिजल्ट आएगा बिकॉज आपको पता है एक्सटेंड और प्लस सेम तरीके से काम करता है ना. सेम चीज़ है यहाँ पे. तो मेरे को इंडिविजुअल एलिमेंट वाइज एडिशन कर देगा और देन यहाँ पे 6 + 3 विच इज़ 9 हो जाएगा यहाँ पे, ठीक है. ये थोड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है गाइस. दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू अगेन. एनी क्वेश्चंस? थैंक यू सो मच संदीप एंड आई थैंक यू सो मच एंड आई एम हैप्पी दैट आई वाज एबल टू एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू. एनी अदर गाइस, एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस गाइस, एनीवन एल्स? If you have understood it, I'm really satisfied. It's fine. I mean that's why we are here for. But again, if you have any questions to understand append, insert, extend, plus how it works internally, always feel free to ask that. Okay, so yeah, we have good more questions, but I think we are almost time, so we're gonna wind up for the day. So we're gonna take the remaining questions tomorrow. We're gonna start with the questions tomorrow. Okay, so I could request you to join on time tomorrow, 7 o'clock. So yeah, I mean we're gonna talk about a few things, and then we're gonna jump into the exercises directly. We're gonna finish the remaining exercises, and then we're gonna jump to dictionaries tomorrow. Okay, guys, this is a very important concept, and thank you so much, Gaurav. I hope I was able to make it clear for you. Thank you so much for telling that. Again, these are very important functionalities of list, guys. Append, insert, extend and plus. Okay, confusing होता है थोड़ा string पे, single object पे, multiple object पे, nested list पे confusing हो जाता है. But always be very sure, very clear कि करना क्या चाहते हो आप. ठीक है, very उसमें कोई भी doubt नहीं होना चाहिए. It's थोड़ा tricky है but simple है. ठीक है. Any other questions, guys? I can still take 1 or 2 more questions before we wrap up for the day. Any other questions, guys? So as I have said, tomorrow we're gonna start 7 p.m. same time. So we're gonna start with the remaining questions. I think I have 13 questions, so I think I have 10 more questions. Too much, yeah. I have 10 more questions. Okay, so let's take it that way. So we're gonna talk about those 10 more questions tomorrow, and we're gonna finish those 10 questions. And once we finish those 10 questions, right? So then we're gonna jump towards the next topic, which is dictionaries. Okay, so we're gonna do dictionaries tomorrow, and then yeah, let's see how it goes from there. Any other questions, guys? I'm all ears. I can take up your questions. I can give you 1 or 2 more minutes if you have any other questions. Cool. So if nobody has any questions, so I'm going to give you your evening back. Okay. So please enjoy your weekend. No, it's not a weekend. My bad. Okay. I think I'm rushing towards the weekend. So yeah, have your evening. Have a good evening, and have a good dinner. And let's meet tomorrow again at 7 p.m. Right. So we're gonna start with the questionnaires we left today for list, and then we're gonna jump to dictionaries. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day ahead. Hey Gaurav, thank you. Yeah, I try to explain it very in a very simple way, because that's how I have learned it. Okay, so even I have matured myself. Okay, so I was not born with a talent of Python, right? Even I have learned it somehow. So I try to make it very simple for everyone, so that everybody can understand. That's my agenda, right? Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, because if your bases are clear, right? If your basics are clear, you can do anything, yeah, anything in Python. It's all easy. It's very simple language, है ना? So yeah, if you're doing your specialization in data science, ना, so we're gonna do some things on data science also. So आप please join कर सकते हो. So we are doing some data science part on weekends, ठीक है? So weekends पे हम थोड़ा data science के stuff cover करते हैं. Pandas, NumPy, so we have agreed for that. So we are doing it. And then if you have any questions, please fill up your questions, Gaurav. Because अगर आप बात नहीं करोगे, even I get, अगर it's a one-way communication sometimes, ना, so I tend to feel bored, है ना, so फिर मैं interact नहीं कर पाता हूँ, I won't be able to give you the nice things, ना. So if you interact, more questions, I'll be able to answer much, right? So you can, I mean, it's like आप कितना ले सकते हो, है ना, कितना आप actually कितने questions आपके हो, कितना आप मुझसे expect कर सकते हो. So it's like it should be a two-way communication. That's what I feel in the class. But again, thank you so much. So let's see so how it goes, and let's meet tomorrow again. So I'll be waiting for you, Gaurav, tomorrow. So we're gonna meet again. Sandeep, thank you so much for being so active in the class. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow 7 p.m. again. So we're gonna start with the remaining 10 odd questions. ठीक है, इसमें भी बहुत सारे concepts cover हो जाएंगे guys. ठीक है, बहुत सारे concepts cover हो जाएंगे. So कल ये 10 और question करते हैं, ठीक है, and then let's move to dictionaries tomorrow. ठीक है, let's see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Bye bye.